Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Jamie Green, debut author of teen drama, mystery, and sci-fi thriller that will be coming out this year, all the hoping for September 2022. Do you like my content? If so, click the like and subscribe button where you will be taken to my awesome, super awesome, at least I hope it's awesome, freaking YouTube channel. I upload videos every single Tuesday, and any extra bonus content will be uploaded every other Thursday. Today, the short story that I will be reading out is actually from this book called Supernatural Short Stories, edited by Joshua Perry. And the short story that I will be reading is called A Mother of Monsters by Guy de Maupassant. And if I completely butchered it, I am very sorry, good sir, or lady, or whatever gender you've chosen. I've tried. So, without any further ado, let us get started. I didn't read any of the books from here. I actually bought it by pure chance at Indigo, hashtag not sponsored. But yeah, I didn't read any of the short stories in here. This is my first time even cracking the book open. So if I happen to have like a random reaction, just know it's my first time reading this particular short story. So that's a disclaimer for you right there. I recall this horrible story, the events of which occurred long ago, and this horrible woman. The other day at a fashionable seaside resort where I saw on the beach of a well-known young, elegant and charming Parisian, adored and respected by everyone. I had been invited by a friend to pay him a visit in a little provincial town. He took me about in all directions to do the honors of the place, showed me noted scenes, chateaux, industries, ruins. He pointed out monuments, churches, old carved doorways, ornaments or disordered trees, the oak of St. Andrew, and the yew tree of Roquevoy. When I had exhausted my admiration and enthusiasm all over the sights, my friend said in a distressed expression on his face that there was nothing left to look at. I breathed freely. I would now be able to rest under the shade of the trees. But, all at once, he uttered an exclamation. "Oh yes! We have the Mother of Monsters! I must take you to see her!" "Who is that, the Mother of Monsters?" I asked. "She is an abominable woman," he asked, "a regular demon, a being who voluntarily brings into the world deformed, hideous, frightful children, monstrosities, in fact, and then sells them to showmen who exhibit such things. These exploiters and freaks come from time to time to find out if she has any fresh monstrosity, and if it meets their approval, they carry it away with them, paying the mother a compensation. She has 11 of this description. She is rich." You think I'm joking, romancing, exaggerating. No, my friends, I am telling you the truth, the exact truth. Let us go see this woman. Then I will tell you her history. He took me into one of the suburbs. The woman lived in a pretty little house by the side of the road. It was attractive and well kept. The garden was filled with fragrant flowers. One might have supposed it to be the residence of a retired lawyer. A maid ushered us into a sort of little country parlor, and the wretch appeared. She was about 40. She was a tall, big woman with hard features, but well-formed, vigorous, and healthy, the truest type of a robust peasant woman, half animal and half woman. She was aware of her reputation and received everyone with a humility that smacked of hatred. "What do the gentlemen wish?" she asked. "They tell me that your last child is just like an ordinary child, that he does not resemble his brothers at all," replied my friend. "I wanted to be sure of that. Is that true?" She cast a malicious and furious look as she said, "Oh, no, my poor sir. He is perhaps even uglier than the rest. I have no luck. They are all like that. It is heartbreaking. How can the good God be so hard on a poor woman who is all alone in this world? How can he?" She spoke hurriedly, her eyes cast down, with deprecating air, as of a wild beast who is afraid. Her harsh voice became soft, and it seemed strange to hear those tearful falsetto tones issuing from that of a big bony frame, of unusual strength with coarse outlines, which seemed fitted for violent action, and made no utter fouls like a wolf. "We should like to see your little one," said my friend. I fancied she coloured up. I may have been deceived. After a few moments of silence, she said in a louder tone, "What good will that do you?" "Why do you not wish to show it to us?" replied my friend. "There are so many people to whom you show it. You know whom I mean." She gave a start, resuming her neutral voice, giving free play to her anger. She screamed, "Was that why you came here? To insult me? Because my children are like animals? Tell me!" "You shall not see him. No, you shall not see him. Go away. Go away. I do not know why you all try to torment me like that." She walked over toward us, her hands on her hips. At the brutal tone of her voice, a sort of moaning, or rather a mewing, the lamentable cry of an idiot, came from the adjoining room. I shivered to the marrow of my bones. We retreated before her. "Take care, devil." They called her the devil, said my friend. "Take care. Some day you will get yourself into trouble through this." She began to tremble, beside herself with fury, shaking her fists and roaring, "Be off with you! What will get me into trouble? Be off with you, miscreants!" She was about to attack us, but we fled, sudden at what we had seen. When we got outside, my friend said, "Well, you have seen her. What do you think of her?" "Tell me the story of this brute," I replied. And this is what he told me as we walked along the white high road, with ripe crops on either side of it, which rippled like the sea in the light breeze that passed over them. This woman was a servant on a farm. She was an honest girl, steady and economical. She was never known to have an admirer, and never suspected of any frailty. But she went astray, as so many do. She soon found herself in trouble and was tortured with fear and shame. Wishing to conceal her misfortune, she bound her body tightly with the corset of her own invention, made of boards and cord. The more she developed, the more she bound herself with this instrument of torture, suffering martyrdom, but brave in her sorrow, not allowing anyone to see or suspect anything. She maimed the little unborn being, cramping it with that frightful corset, and made a monster of it. Its head was squeezed and elongated to a point, and its large eyes seemed popping out of its head. Its limbs, exaggeratedly long, and twisted like the stalk of a vine, terminated in fingers like the claws of a spider. Its trunk was tiny and round as a nut. The child was born in an open field, and the readers saw it. They fled away, screaming. The report spread that she had given birth to a demon. From that time on, she was called the devil. She was driven from the farm, lived on a charity under a cloud. She brought up the monster, whom she hated with a savage hatred, and would have strangled, perhaps, if the priest had not threatened her with the rest. One day, some traveling showmen heard about the frightful creature and asked to see it, so that if it pleased them, they might take it away. They were pleased, counted about 500 francs to the mother. At first, she had refused to let them see the little animal, as she was ashamed, but then she discovered it had a money value, and that these people were anxious to get to it. She began to haggle him, raising her price with all a peasant's persistence. She made them draw a paper, in which they promised to pay her 400 francs a year besides, as though they had taken this deformity into their employ. Incited by the greed of gain, she continued to produce these phenomena, as an assured income like a bourgeois. Some of them were long, some short, some like crabs, all bodies, others like lizards. Several died, and she was heartbroken. The law tried to interfere, but as they had no proof, they let her continue to produce her freaks. She has at this moment been 11 alive, and they bring her in, and on average, counting good and bad years, from 5,000 to 6,000 francs a year. One alone is not placed, the one she was unwilling to show us. But she will not keep it long, for she is known to all the showmen in the world, who came from time to time to see if she has anything new. She even gets bids from them when the monster is valuable." My friend was silent. A profound disgust stirred my heart, and a feeling of rage, of regret, to think that I had not strangled this brute when I had the opportunity. I had forgotten this story when I saw on the beach of a fashionable resort the other day an elegant, charming, dainty woman, surrounded by men who paid her respect as well as admiration. I was walking along the beach, arm in arm with a friend, the resident physician. 10 minutes later I saw a nursemaid with 3 children who were rolling in the sand. A pair of little crutches lay on the ground and touched my sympathy. I then noticed that these 3 children were all deformed, humpbacked, or crooked, and hideous. "Those are the offspring of that charming woman you saw just now," said the doctor. I was filled with pity for her, as well as for them, and exclaimed, "Oh, the poor mother! How can she ever laugh?" "Do not pity her, my friend. Pity the poor children," replied the doctor. "This is the consequence of preserving a slender figure up to the last. These little deformities were made by the corset. She knows very well that she is risking her life at this game. But what does she care, as long as she can be beautiful and have admirers?" And then I recalled that other woman, the peasant, the devil, who sold her children, her monsters. I was not expecting that. That was actually quite a dark story. Well, well, hopefully you guys did end up enjoying it. That was a lot darker than I would have liked. It's a little different from what my regular content here on this channel. If you guys did like it, hit the like button there. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, ring the little bell for more of my content. And you guys have an awesome day, and bye!